Have you ever poured your heart and soul into a project, only to see the credit snatched away by someone else? What if that someone was your boss's nephew, who barely even knew which end of a spreadsheet was up? Today, we're diving into the story of Sarah, a brilliant project manager who faced exactly that. But this isn't a story about defeat. Oh no. This is a story about corporate revenge, served ice cold with a side of pure genius. Stick around to see how Sarah turned a blatant act of nepotism into a career-defining moment, using nothing but the company's own rulebook. Sarah was the star of her department. For months, she had been leading a high-stakes project, codenamed Project Chimera. It was her baby. She'd worked late nights, weekends, and had poured every ounce of her creativity into it. The project was set to revolutionize the company's entire workflow, and everyone knew it was Sarah's masterpiece. The launch was just weeks away, and the buzz around the office was electric. Sarah was on track for a major promotion, a corner office, the works. It felt like all her hard work was finally about to pay off in a big way. Then, one Monday morning, everything changed. Let's call him Kevin. Kevin was the boss's nephew, fresh out of college, with a degree that had little to do with their industry. He'd been given a cushy, vaguely defined role. Mostly, he just made coffee runs and tried to look busy. But that Monday, an all-company email went out. It was an announcement about Project Chimera. The email, sent by Sarah's boss, Mr. Henderson, congratulated the team on the upcoming launch. But there was a shocking twist. The project lead was listed not as Sarah, but as Kevin. The office went silent. Everyone canailed. They had seen Sarah's dedication, her leadership. Kevin, on the other hand, had contributed nothing more than asking, "Is it done yet?" every few days. Sarah felt a cold knot tighten in her stomach. It was a public slap in the face. She walked to Mr. Henderson's office, the congratulatory email burning on her screen. She tried to remain calm, asking for a clarification. Maybe it was a typo. A horrible, soul-crushing typo. Mr. Henderson didn't even have the decency to look her in the eye. He mumbled something about giving Kevin a chance to lead and fostering new talent. He said her contribution was duly noted, and that she was a valued team player. It was corporate doublespeak for my nephew gets the credit, and you will sit down and be quiet about it. The injustice was staggering. Sarah walked back to her desk, her mind racing. Anger, frustration, and a sense of betrayal washed over her. She could quit. She could make a scene. But then, a different idea began to form. A smarter idea. That night, Sarah didn't sleep. Instead of stewing in anger, she channeled it. She remembered something from her employee onboarding years ago. The company has notoriously strict compliance and documentation policies. Every project, especially one of this magnitude, required meticulous records. Every decision, every change, every sign-off had to be documented and archived in a specific, unalterable format for auditing purposes. The company prided itself on its unimpeachable paper trail. It was a bureaucratic nightmare that most people ignored for smaller tasks. But for Project Chimera, Sarah had been religious about it. She had documented everything, and that was her light bulb moment. If Kevin was the project lead, then he had to act. Asterisk. Like the project lead, according to company policy, he was now responsible for everything. All final pre-launch checks, all system integrations, and most importantly, all final compliance. These weren't just simple checkboxes. They involved cross-referencing hundreds of pages of technical specifications and legal clearances. It was a task that required an intimate, detailed knowledge of the entire project knowledge that only Sarah possessed. The trap was set. Now, she just had to wait for Kevin to walk into it. The next day, Sarah put on her best poker face. She walked over to Kevin's desk with a bright, helpful smile. "Congratulations on the new role, Kevin," she said, her voice dripping with false sincerity. "As the official project lead, you'll need to handle the final compliance documentation before we can go live. It's all in the system. Ready for your final review and sign-off. Let me know if you need anything." Kevin, preening from his newfound status, just waved a dismissive hand. Yeah. Got it. No problem." He had no idea what he had just agreed to. Sarah forwarded him the links to the compliance portal. It was a labyrinth of technical jargon, legal requirements, and cross-dependencies. She knew there was no way he could even begin to understand it. The system was designed to flag any inconsistencies, and a single incorrect sign-off would halt the entire launch and trigger an automatic audit from the head office's compliance department to department that operated independently of Mr. Henderson. The beauty of her plan was that she wasn't doing anything wrong. She was simply following company protocol to the letter. A few days passed. The launch date was creeping closer. An air of panic started to surround Kevin's cubicle. He was seen frantically clicking, looking pale and overwhelmed. He tried to delegate the task back to Sarah, but she politely refused. "Sorry, Kevin. My access was revoked when you were made the lead. It's a security protocol. The system only recognizes the official project lead for final sign-offs. It's all on you." He went to his uncle, Mr. Henderson, who, not understanding the technical details, told him to man up and get it done. The day before the launch, the inevitable happened. An automated, high-priority alert went out to all senior management, including the CEO and the head of the compliance department. The subject line read, "Critical failure project Chimera launch halted due to compliance inconsistencies." The system had automatically blocked the launch because Kevin, in a desperate attempt to look competent, had just started clicking approve on everything without review. The audit was triggered. Within an hour, the head of compliance, a notoriously thorough and no-nonsense executive named Ms. Albright, was in Mr. Henderson's office. Sarah was called in as well. The meeting was tense. Ms. Albright had the digital audit trail projected on the wall. It showed Kevin's name on all the failed signs. Then, she pulled up the project's history log. It clearly showed Sarah's name on every single document, every milestone, every key decision for the past 8 months. It showed her meticulous, perfect record. The contrast was damning. Ms. Albright turned to Kevin and asked him a few basic technical questions about the project. He stammered, turned red, and couldn't answer a single one. She then turned to Sarah, who answered the same questions with effortless detail and clarity. The picture was crystal clear. Mr. Henderson sat silently, his face ashen. He had been caught red-handed in a lie, not by an accusation, but by his own company's unbendable rules. The compliance trap had snapped shut. The fallout was swift and brutal. Kevin was quietly reassigned to an internship in a branch office. 3 time zones, aware, corporate exile. Mr. Henderson was formally reprimanded and lost a significant portion of his yearly bonus. More importantly, his credibility within the company was shattered. And Sarah, she was publicly reinstated as the lead of Project Chimera. The CEO himself sent out the correction email, apologizing for the previous clerical error and praising Sarah's unparalleled leadership and integrity. She successfully launched the project the following week to company-wide acclaim. She got her promotion, the corner office, and something even more valuable: the respect of the entire company. She didn't have to raise her voice or file a complaint. She used the system to beat the system. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud and explosive, but quiet, methodical, and impeccably documented. So what do you think of Sarah's brilliant move? Have you ever seen anything like this in your workplace? Let me know your own stories of corporate justice in the comments below. If you enjoyed this tale of clever revenge, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more stories, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.